Hi all, welcome to Tech Forum. In this video, let us see how to build a address locator for your website using Google Map API. The Google Maps API allows developers to access Google Maps data and functionality for their own projects. If you want to incorporate customized Google Maps on your website or application, you can use a Google Maps API. Google Maps platform offers several APIs, each serving different needs. Maps JavaScript API. This allows developers to embed Google Maps into their web pages with options to customize the map appearance, add markers, layers, overlays, and events. Maps Static API. This allows developers to request static map images that can be embedded into web pages or applications with options to customize the map size, zoom level, format, language, region, and style. Maps Embed API. This allows developers to embed an interactive Google Map into their web pages or applications with options to choose different modes, including directions, search, view, and street view. Directions API. This allows developer to request direction data for various modes of transportation such as driving, walking, cycling, and transit. This service also provides information on distance, duration, traffic conditions, alternative routes, and others. Distance Matrix API. This allows developers to request travel distance and time data for a set of origins and destinations. The service also provides information on traffic conditions and modes of transportation. Geocoding API. This allows developers to convert addresses to geographic coordinates or vice versa. Geolocation API. This allows developers to determine the geographic location of a device or user based on various sources of information. Example, IP addresses, cell towers, Wi-Fi access points, and more. HTML5 also enables geolocation API that can be used to get the geographical position of a user or device natively on a browser. Places API. This allows developers to access information on places around the world such as names, addresses, phone numbers, rating, reviews, and others. Roads API. This allows developers to access road and speed limit data for a given location or route. Time zone API. This allows developers to request time zone data for a given location or timestamp. In this video, we are focusing on the Maps JavaScript API to create our address locator, also using Distance Matrix API and Geocoding APIs. Some of the benefits of enabling a address locator on a website. Enhanced user experience. Adding an address locator helps user easily find places on your site. Increased engagement. Interactive maps on your website keep user interested and encourage them to spend more time on your website. Improved SEO. User-friendly site with maps can keep visitors longer, which in turn improve your site's search engine ranking and visibility in location-based searches. Let's now explore how to enable an address locator on a website. As a first step, we need to create an API key for the Google Maps platform. Access this specific URL cloud.google.com maps platform. Let me access it. So click on get started. Now log in with your email ID. Okay, first time this will create a project. If you see here my maps project, so then you can finish this account setup. Click on this, agree and continue. Okay, you need to select the account type. You can select individual. Then you should be adding the payment method, the credit card details. Then you can click on start free. The Google Maps platform offers a free trial that includes $300 in credits valid for 90 days. After that, API users receive $200 in monthly credits. This amount typically covers up to 100k static map request or approximately 28k dynamic map request each month. Once you exceed the free trial and monthly credit limits, Google charges for the Maps API based on the number of requests you make to the platform. You can refer here mapsplatform.google.com/pricing for the monthly cost associated to the Maps APIs based on the usage. If you see here, Maps JavaScript API, 1k request per month, the cost is $7. You can find the details for various APIs on this page. Once the setup is completed, you can click on APIs and services to enable or disable various APIs for the selected project. If you see here, Maps JavaScript API is enabled. If you want, you can disable and again enable. Also various APIs, Map Static API enabled for this project. Street View, most of the Maps APIs are enabled for this specific project. Now click on keys and credentials. Now if you see here, a default key is already created. You can copy this key. Also if you go to Accents, you can click on Edit API. Whenever you create a new key or existing key, ensure you are applying the required restrictions. If you can see, set an application restriction. So no restrictions are enabled for now because this is my test key. I will be deleting this key after this demo. Otherwise you can restrict based on websites. So means this key will be used only on a specific websites. Even you can use subdomain and star.example.com. Various patterns you can use. You can also add multiple entries. Also based on IP addresses you can restrict, also for Android or iOS apps. So also another set of restriction is don't restrict key or restrict key for specific APIs. If you see restrict key, this key can be restricted only for selected APIs. Anyway, for now I am going with don't restrict key for any specific APIs. So now you can copy this key, whatever key is already generated, I am going to copy that. So key, I am copy this. Now the API key is ready. We can start building the address locator. I have a list of addresses or locations that I need to mark on a map. This will allow users to quickly and easily identify these specific locations. Along with displaying each location, I want to provide relevant details about them and also offer directions to these places. This is my sample application displaying a map that shows markers for specific location. Each marker shows different icons based on the address category. If you see here, two different icons, one for retail stores and another one is for grocery stores. Clicking on a specific marker displays the information window. Let me click on this. It displays the information window with all these details. Additional to the basic details like title, description, open, phone, address, the info window also shows the buttons to open the direction to the store and the store website. Let me click on directions. This will open the Google map with route to store address from the user's current location. If you see here your location, then the store address displaying the route to the address. Clicking on the website button take you to the website of the store. Pressing the escape button close the info window. I disable the close button from the info window. If required, you can use the close button instead of using escape. Let me click on another marker. So here again this is another store with all these details. Again directions button and website button. If you see here, the left side I am displaying the list of stores along with basic details. Additionally displaying the store distance and travel time from user's current location, assuming the user allowed geolocation API. Clicking on the store name, open the info window corresponding to the specific address marker on the map. If you see here, I click Walmart Eagan, it opens the corresponding info window. Also if you click on this, it opens the corresponding again the info window. Also I have a button change map sender to change the sender of the map to the specific address or user address. So if I click here change map center, right now it's taking me to the specific address. Let me explain the code for more details on this. Let us quickly review the code. I will start with locations.json. This contains the store details. If you see here feature collection, then individual feature contains the store details, store coordinates. Then if you see here properties, category specify here always store. Then the basic detail hours, description, name, phone, address, then website. Also type value is used to display specific marker icon on the map. If you see here the type is grocery. Location ID, unique ID for each store address. This is used to display corresponding info window while clicking on the specific store name. Let us quickly see the other records. If you see here again type, retailer, then location ID is 02. Then if I go to other one, then again location ID 03, type is retailer. Even you can fetch the store data from external search engine or system. Also you can enable filtering based on specific criteria, example distance, to display relevant address and markers to the user. I have a index.html. So if you see here I am including a style.css, also locator.js. So then I have a container to display the location list in the left side, location map on the right side. Also if you see here I have a script async differ. So the same Google Maps script, https maps.googleapis.com, maps API, JS, then key, whatever the key we copied from Google Map platform, then libraries if you see here place, then callback equal to init map. This JavaScript method will be invoked once the loading of this JS completed. Also I have a button change map center to change the center of the map to a specific address or user's current location. Then style.css, style specific to the info window and the store list window. If you see here location list, then style to location map, other one is map info window. Then if you see here, also I am overriding some of the default styles. If you see GM, UI, hover effect, so to close the default close button. Also if you see here GM style and GM style IW, I am overriding some of the default styles. So I had some window background issue, so that's the reason I overridden this ones. Then style for button and button hover. Then I have image icons to display the address type specific markers. Then locator.js, the first one is init map. As we discussed, callback method. This method is called after the Google Maps API library is loaded. If we see here my styles, I am defining some styles, feature type, POI, then element type labels, then visibility off. This to hide the default markers on the map. If you just open the map, it will have a lot of default markers, means the important location. But in our use case, we want to hide those locations or markers. So for that, we are defining this style. Then creating the map instance. If you see here new google.maps.map, then we need to pass the element ID. Our element ID is location map. So map is going to be displayed on this location map div. Then some parameters, zoom equal to 13. So this is the initial zoom level of the map. Then center, which location should be centered while the map is loaded. We are specifying the address coordinate. Then styles, so we define custom styles to disable the default markers. So we are passing that. Then we are using map.data.load GeoJSON method to load the store's GeoJSON data onto the map. Here we are specifying the location of the JSON file, locations.json, also the unique ID property name, the location ID. Here we are defining type specific icons for marker. If you see here the type is grocery, grocery.png, then retailer, retailer.png. You can define multiple icons. Here we are setting the type specific icon to the map. If you see here map.data.set style, then it getting the feature, then feature.get property type. The JSON has a type property. Based on the type, we are returning the icon URL. Then we are initializing the info window, new google.maps.info window. Also we are initializing distance matrix service, new google.maps.distance matrix service. This is to calculate the distance and duration between user location and specific address. Event listener to open the info window on clicking of a specific marker on the map. If you see here, we are invoking another method, create info window content, to generate the content for the info window. Also we are getting the coordinates from the feature. So then info window dot set content, the whatever the content we generated. Then the position we are getting from this coordinates position. Then set options. So we are setting some options. Then info window dot open map. So while clicking on specific marker, the corresponding info window will be opened. This is the create info window content method. So getting the feature. So then getting the properties from the feature. Feature dot get property name, description, hours, address, website, phone. Then we are creating the content. We are creating a div, then paragraphs. So displaying whatever the format you want to display, you can create it. So now, but if you see here, this is the direction button, this is the website button. If you go to this direction button, we are using this URL, google.com/maps/dir/API equal to 1, then destination equal to address, whatever the store address. So while clicking on this button, user will be taken to another tab with direction to this specific address from user's current location. Then event listener to close the info window on clicking of escape button. Then event listener and method to display the store details on the left side location list window. Here we are finding the user location coordinates that will be used to calculate the distance between user current location and the store address. Here we are identifying the destination coordinates from the JSON file, feature.geometry.coordinates, the latitude and longitude. Then we are calculating the distance between user location and destination. Then we are creating the required element to display the store details on the location list div. Here we are defining a event listener on location name. Clicking on location name opens the info window. So with the corresponding location ID. Also displaying the basic details here along with the distance, result.distance, and the duration, result.duration. This is the method to open the info window based on the location ID. While clicking on the store name on the location list window, the corresponding info window will be opened on the map. Here again, based on the location ID, we are finding the corresponding feature data from the JSON. Then using those data, we are creating the info window content. Then same thing, position, then info window dot set content, set position, then open map. This is the event listener on the change map center button. Clicking on the button can set the center of the map to a specific address, or even it can be set to the user's current location. Center to specific address method, we are receiving the address. Then we are using geocoder API. So if you see here geocoder.geocode, then we are passing the address. Then the country is specific to US. Then any country you can pass it here. Then we are getting the result. Then we are getting the latitude and longitude based on the result. Geometry.location.latitude, then longitude. With this latitude and longitude, we can set map.set center to that specific value. Center to user location. Here we are using find user location to get the user's current coordinates. Then again same thing, using that coordinates, map.set center to that particular coordinates. Then find user location. We are using HTML5 geolocation API to identify the user's current location. The assumption is user allows the geolocation API. The next one is get distance matrix. We are using get distance matrix API to calculate the distance between origin location, means the user's location, destination, the store's location. Travel mode, driving. Then we are using imperial unit system. Default is kilometer, but here miles. Then calculate distance. This method in turn called get distance matrix to calculate and receive the distance and duration between these two coordinates. In case you want to quickly identify the coordinates for address or address for the coordinates, you can use some of the online services. So I was using this service. You can pass the address to get the GPS coordinates. So that will display the latitude and longitude. Also based on the latitude and longitude, you can get the address. In summary, enabling address locators into your website enhances user experience, boosts user engagement, and can improve your site's SEO, making it an invaluable tool for modern web design. I will share the sample project repository link to the video description. Thanks all for watching the video. See you all in the next video.